maybe walk me through. I want you to sell me on bikepacking and why I should give this a shot. Like, describe maybe a great route that you've done. What makes it different and unique from backpacking? I'm curious. I've never done it, but I'd love to hear why you actively do both.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, so I think the things that are great about bikepacking are you could do like a couple 100-mile route through like beautiful rolling like desert terrain and like cover 50 to 100 miles in a day on dirt roads, see absolutely nobody, and still be able to like, cover 100 miles between water sources or something like that. And like, you could never do that hiking. And, you could never, there's like it's a totally different experience. You go slightly faster, you go way faster downhill. You can really like just long routes through the desert are where I think bikepacking
I was going to say that. I was like, it sounds like the advantage would be when you get into these really open landscapes, like with a lot of miles between cities. And I'm like, it's basically like southeastern Utah, and some of these routes are like what's coming to mind. Because I'm like, everywhere else, there's just so many people, so many cities, right?
Yeah, no, I think bikepacking is best done in the American Southwest, like southern Utah, southern Arizona. I just did an amazing route down there for the second time, actually, called the Sky Islands Odyssey. It's about a 250-mile loop that goes along the U.S.-Mexico border, like south of Tucson, in like the very furthest south part of Arizona. And it's like through this amazing rolling landscape, with like all these massive mountains in every direction. You kind of ride through a couple of the Sky Island ranges, and there's always amazing views in every direction because you're just rolling up and down hills the whole time. And the sunsets are awesome. The sunrises are awesome. And you're like so far away from anything that the camping is amazing. And you can carry a ton of water pretty easily on a bike.
You get stopped by Border Patrol down there very often?
They usually, as a white male, like they just wave to me and keep going. Like they're used to it. They're just looking for not me down there, basically.
You don't have a big enough bag to have.
Yeah, I don't have a big enough bag. I have like nice looking stuff.
So, what's harder on your body, bikepacking or hiking?
Probably hiking. Bikepacking can be hard on your body. I think I've gotten injured pretty bad with like a loaded bikepacking bike kind of like falling on me when I was trying to push like on like intense hike-a-bike sections.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely, I think I'd say hiking is a little harder on your body, especially if you have like a heavy pack. So,
yeah. So how much of your gear changes between bikepacking and ultralight backpacking, let's say, or through hiking or?
Yeah, not that much. So for bikepacking, I have to carry a tent pole because I don't have a trekking pole. I normally use like a trekking pole shelter. Lately, I've been just using a single trekking pole supported tarp or a single trekking pole supported tent. So I have like a tent pole to use in place of a trekking pole. And then I use bigger, like more durable water bottles that can like be held on a bike instead of just like cheap,
like a harder plastic,
cheap, like smart water bottles. I use like an Nalgene, or even I've been using one of these, like these big, like 40-ounce clean canteens on a bike too. They're like super durable, and they're a little bigger than a Nalgene, but not as big as the 1.5 liter Nalgene. But other than that, the gear is pretty similar. I wear I usually bike tour or bike pack, bike tour, whatever you want to call it, in bedrock sandals. Whereas
I was just going to ask if you use clip-ins or something. No, just sandals.
Just sandals. But they have a really nice Vibram sole, so they actually like talk really well with the like with platform pedals. So it works. They're honestly like some of the best cycling footwear I've worn. And for bike packing, it's great because then you don't have to like worry about dirty socks. You don't even like, I have like one pair of sleep socks, and then other than that, I don't even carry socks. It kind of works out pretty well.
That's really interesting. I mean, you got full-time AC just blowing through there.
Yeah. And full-time AC.
And no need to worry about your socks getting covered in dirt every day.
Nope. Yeah. And then like your feet get wet, it doesn't matter. You ride through a stream, you're ready. So
that's awesome. That's pretty interesting, actually. You mentioned a handful of times durable water bottles. I feel like maybe you have a story around losing some water or just having issues with.
Yeah, I went through a period where I was trying to like bring everything that I had like sort of learned from ultralight backpacking into bike packing, and I was trying to use like smart water bottles on a bike, and when they're not full of water, they just get they get squishy. And so then like a bike, like a bottle cage, even like an oversized bottle cage designed to fit that size bottle, like doesn't really hold it very well. And then you have to strap it down, but then the strap won't hold it very well because the bottle is kind of collapsing. So it just doesn't work out.
So you just need the rigidity, huh?
Yeah, you just need rigidity.
Yeah, I have actually, like in the high mountains where rocks get pretty sharp, dropped a smart water bottle and put a hole right in it. Had to deal with that. So they are breakable, I guess.
Oh yeah, they're definitely breakable. I've broken
a lot better than any of the water bladders I've used, but I've still had issues or seen issues.
Yeah, definitely. Especially the one that you're using, if you filter out of a smart water bottle, like try to filter onto it, that one always ends up breaking.
Yeah, for sure.